are you today? Thank you for coming back. Today, it's not going to be about cooking, but rather about how to maintain some utensils. Specifically, this is a cast iron skillet that I use quite a bit of it. The good thing about it, it maintains heat. It's great for the barbecue. You can throw it in the oven. Once you season it or cure it properly, actually it becomes non-stick. Basically, after you use it, you have to wait for it to cool down, and then you wash it normally with soap and water, as I'm going to show you. Take the water as hot as you can. Scrape off all the dirt from it. You can use a spatula or some Brillo pad if you like. Don't worry, you're not going to damage it. Once you've taken care of that, just take a regular sponge. Just leave it an abrasive side as well as the sponge side. Soap it up and give it a good wash. If you have any spots that are stuck on foods, don't forget top and bottom. Then you want to get rid of some of the extra oil so it doesn't get sticky. If you have some stubborn, just rub it. Don't worry with it. You know, it won't hurt it. And then wash it well. Take all the soap out. And the most important part is to dry it after you've done washing it. Don't leave it to dry because it will create corrosion and oxidation, and it's going to require you to re-cure the saucepan when you use it again, or the pot, whatever it is. Just remember, once you're done with it, wash it well, okay, and dry it well. It is important that you dry it so it doesn't create corrosion. Then, once we're done with this part, we're going to put it on the stove top to finish drying up. You can also put it in the oven, but the stove is quicker. I'll finish it drying it, and I'll show you what the next step is. We just put our saucepan. I already heated up, but we put it on the stove and put the stove in medium high and leave it there to start getting hot. It's going to smoke up a little, don't worry with it, it's burning the extra oil. We're going to put a little bit of vegetable oil. Don't use any kind of grapeseed oil, vegetable oil. Do not use olive oil, as the heat ratio is very low, so it's going to start smoking up a lot. The idea is to polymerize this oil onto the pan, so it will give it a protective layer. Very important, have a rag or something to grab the handle of the pan. It's going to be very hot. If you have one of these, even better, okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Just remember that don't touch the pan with your bare hands because it's going to be hot. Okay, so we leave it like that for a minute until we start seeing a bit of smoke. Once we see the smoke coming up, just a little, not a lot. You probably, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but you are going to see some. You just take a paper towel, fold it into 4, okay, have it ready, and we're going to be dropping probably about half a teaspoon, a couple of drops of oil into the pan, to the center of the pan, and distribute it with the paper towel. Okay, we don't want a thick layer, it's a very thin layer. Okay, and we're going to let it cool off. The option to that is to heat your oven to about 400-425 degrees, give it a light coat of oil, and leave it in the pan, in the stove for about an hour. Okay, then just turn the stove off and let it cool off by itself. When you do that, put a liner or something at the bottom of the stove in case there's any drippings. Okay, it's also important that you take the pan, and when you put it in the stove, you put it upside down, okay, in case any drippings happen. Let me see, there's a little bit of smoke starting to come up. I don't know if you see it. Okay, be careful, this is hot. Okay, don't do it in a rush, take your time. But once you do this a couple of times, you know, you don't have to do it every time you use it, but you should do it. I do it at least once a month to try to keep the saucepan in tip-top shape. As I said, you can use it in the oven, you can use it in the barbecue, you can use it if you go camping. You know, it's going to last forever. Well, it's been about 2.5, 3 minutes. Okay, and I don't know if you see it on the video, but there's a little bit of smoke coming up. Okay, the pan is turning slightly, changing the color. Don't worry about that. Color doesn't have anything to do with how it performs. Okay, as it's you're going to smell it as well. Don't be too concerned. If there's too much smoke going on, that means that it's not clean enough. Okay, so you might want as well just take it out of the heat. Let it cool off, wash it a little bit better, remove it. There's also some cleaners they use, it's abrasive, it's like a chain link that people run on it, whatnot. You don't really need it, just a regular sponge, or even one of these 3M Scotch-Brites, I think they're called, which are very fine and they'll take care and clean most of the grease off of it. You know, I cleaned it pretty well, so there's very little smoke coming out. So the next step is this. Obviously turn the heat off, move it out of the heat, okay. And then you take one little drip of oil. It's just a drop. Okay. You see it? And it's going to smoke and you just distribute it. Be careful, the paper is going to get hot as well. So if you think that you need a little more, just a tiny bit, because it's being absorbed. Okay. Make sure you cover all the sides, the rim. Okay. And as it smokes, don't worry with it. Don't press it. Okay. Turn around, hold it, and do the back as well. Okay. Now we just let it cool off, and once it's cooled off, I'll come back and I'll show you what the next step is. The pan has been cooling off for about an hour. Make sure it's completely cool. Okay. Last step is basically take a microfiber rag and just clean it a little bit. Basically to get rid of some of the paper towel fluff that's in there and to remove whatever extra oil might be there. As you can see, now it's completely clean, no oil residue, and it's ready to be used again. Okay, I hope you like this little DIY, and in the near future, I'll be making quite a few dishes in this type of saucepan, and you see how versatile it is. Once again, thank you for watching. Give me a like and follow the channel. Thank you and have a good one.